Peace and blessings, everyone. Welcome back to the Humble Servant Homestead, guys. Today, I am out here, as you all can see. We are frosty. Our goats, they are a bit cold. Their water, as y'all can see, guys, is frozen. It is about that time of year once more again where that we have to deal with the frost, we have to deal with the cold, and all those things that comes with it. Right now, it's actually about feeding time. We are up bright and early in the morning, and I just want to come on in real quick and give you all a update, guys, on what is going on here on the homestead. Okay, um, as y'all can see, where I'm walking right now, it is very frosty. It is very, it is very cold. Look at that. There is a few watermelon, which is not good. So those will be going to the chickens, and just about everything that we can get harvest out here in the garden, guys, is harvest. All of our peppers, we have picked them and brought them on the inside. Okay, now if you all can see, here is where we have our herbs, and yes, look at that. They are frosty as well. But one thing I know for sure, guys, with the time and also your rosemary right here, it will bounce back. So, not worrying about that. The frost won't damage it. Um, but right over here is where we have some basil. As y'all can see, it is frosty as well. Um, still giving off a pretty good, basil fragrant. What I may do is come on out here and harvest up the rest of this right here. I did came on in and harvest some. I may come in and harvest the rest and dry them on out in the dehydrator so we can make ourselves some basil tea or seasoning if needs be. Okay, right over there, what you're looking at is a pepper plant that is, it's toasted, guys, that have no coming back to come back. All right, right over here inside of these raised beds, what you are looking at is just some bare raised bed, is where we're going to be planting out garlic once more again. And think for that, guys, just make sure you're getting your garlic beds prep and ready to plant out your garlic. You could have planted your garlic out in October. Usually November is right at around that time when we like to come on in and plant out our garlics, guys. But if you all notice, what you are looking at right here inside of these garlic beds is fresh organic compost that we brought in for our garlic, guys, because they do tend to grow a whole lot better in organic matter. Okay, so what you're looking at, what this is goat manure that we brought in from our goat pen that have been broken down for right at about 6 months. Some of it in here could be a bit longer. Some of this goat manure right here is also mixed with chicken manure. Okay, so hey, you just right there, you have the best of both worlds. Okay, so right here, guys, is the raised bed right here as well. What you're looking at is more goat manure in here, where I did came on in down there at the bottom and top that off. But that is what you're looking at. Okay, so we're gonna move on over here. Right over here is some peppers. As you all know, peppers did not really do all that well for us this year, but we were still able to get some harvest out of them. What we did, we came on in and picked all the good peppers, and we went ahead and freeze them on up, because yes, we still have people out there that would deliver to, like, your restaurants and places like that that still need some peppers. Okay, So right in here with these raised beds right here, as you all can see, we do have some of them that is not covered right now at the moment, but they will be getting covered pretty soon. What this is going to do for your garden bed, guys, is pretty much putting it to rest for the winter time. Because if you notice, I'm going to touch this ground. If you notice how hard the ground is, okay, we're going to move on over here, and we're going to go ahead and move some of this hay back that we have on top. And what that does, if you notice, let me move it so you can see the difference. So what I'm going to do now is push on this ground. You see that? It's able to give for me because we have this hay on top. And what that's going to do, your microbes and all your bacteria and your fungus that is in the soil, this hay right here is going to give a protective barrier from all uh, the frosting, the unfrosting, the sun, which the bacteria and all that stuff will be going through a different changes every time, every day, when you get some frost and then the sun comes out, the ground thaws out, and all that. It will be going through changes. So that's why we put the hay on there so the ground can stay pretty balanced, okay, and it won't be going through a lot of that fluctuation in the different changes within the weather throughout the day. Okay, so like I said, this is pretty hard. Now, if I push hard enough, I probably can break it. That is very hard, guys. So that right there is pretty much an example of why we overwinter our garden beds. Okay, um one of the thing is what I will also be coming in to do inside of this garden bed right here as well. I will be coming on in with some garden lime on top of these beds right here, guys. I think I touched on that before, why I will be coming in with garden lime. Not only that, it have some minerals in it that will help your plant throughout the growing season, but what it will also do, it also helps your plants to absorb nutrients a bit better. Okay, so as you overwinter your bed, go ahead, put some garden lime on in, and also any other minerals. You can even put some compost on top of those beds, and then you go on in and put the straw down. Okay, which you see the straw now, you may be saying, hey, you should have went ahead and put the mineral put the lime in first, then put the straw. But I don't have to worry about that because throughout this winter, you're going to get rain, you're going to get frost, and so once that sun comes out and it hits that lime, guys, what will happen? It will go ahead and eventually the water will wash it down into the soil. Not only that, this straw that you are looking at, we will not be taking this straw off on top of the beds. We will leave them and we will plant right on top of them when spring gets here. Okay, so keep that in mind as well. Okay, so just moving on down here, we have some more raised beds. As you all can see, this is where we had our strawberry planted last year. Um, I believe this particular bed, I want to say could be this one in the middle. I have a video coming that I did about a year ago when I built these raised beds. Now, I want you to pay attention to this raised bed. When I came on in and filled this raised bed, I filled it just about right to where I topped it off pretty much. But what happened? Um, these raised beds, I tell you what, stay tuned for that video. I'm not going to give it away. Just stay tuned for that video, guys, and you're going to see what's happening. All the organic matter that I put inside of these beds still break down over a period of time, and then what happened, it drop. Okay, and I did went ahead and explain that in that video, so stay tuned for that one. But I will be coming back on in to top these beds off with organic matter and get them over winter. All right, to be overwintered, guys. Okay, so right here is where we have our beets. Now I am going to tell you all what happened with these beets right here. If you plant your beets out not in a timely fashion, this is what's going to happen once the frost comes in and hit this beet. It's going to knock those leaves back. Um, yeah, they should bounce back, but you may have a bit of a leaf damage on those beets leaves right there, guys. But we're going to leave them and let them go ahead and do what they do. All right, over here is where we had some tomato planted out. Now I could have came on out and harvest these green tomatoes, and hey, we could probably made some fried tomatoes, but hey, the frosts have gotten to them, and that is where they rest for the time being. All right, over here is also where we have some more beds that we're getting overwintered, as you all can see. And so that is pretty much what it is. Those are pepper plants over there that we went ahead and pulled all the peppers off. Now it's only a matter of time to go ahead and pull those on out and put them in the middle of the row so they can go ahead and break back down into the soil, guys. Right over here, look at this. Just the other day, and yes, we do have a video coming. This video may be before that video, but where we give an update of what this area was looking like. But look at all this brassica that we have planted out in here, guys. Look at what the frosts have done. Came on in and freeze them up, but as time goes on, they should bounce right back up. Now you may, depends on how bad of a frost it is, you may lose some leaves, but hey, they should go ahead and bounce back, and we should be able to get a little harvest out of them, over the fall and maybe a little bit throughout the winter time as well, guys. All right, so right over here is where we have some more brassicas planted out. Over here is where we have cover crop planted out in these area. Now if you all remember, well, you won't remember because I did not drop that video as yet, but we did have quite a bit of corn that were to pop up inside of this bed right here, guys. I didn't really worry about it too much. I could have came in and pulled them out, feed them to the animals, but I left them because I know once we get our first frost, all those beans and corn that started germinating in this area, it will eventually burn them down, and that is what you are looking at right there. Corn and beans, but in this area we have, I want to say, some more turnips planted right there. We have some kale planted right here. We have some mustard in the front and also kale behind the mustard. And we have more mustard planted in these rows right here, guys. Okay, so that is what we have. All this stuff right here is brassicas. We know that eventually, once the sun comes up and all the leaves get defrost, um, it should bounce back. Now you may have a few leaves damaged, like I said, but your brassicas can sometimes withstand a pretty cool temperature. Okay, and so that right there is it. Right over here, as y'all can see, um, we do have our cucuzza squash did got hit as well, guys. Okay, but hey, we did got quite a bit of cucuzza out of here. That doesn't mean that I should have let these right here went ahead and get damaged, which these here is a bit hard anyway, so I don't believe we would have been able to eat those. But what I will be doing is coming on out here and get the ones that have the seeds, um, and go ahead and harvest those on out. All right. And so right over here, is where we had our sugarcane planted. One of the thing is that to note is you want to make sure you overwinter your sugar cane, guys, and that's what we did. We came in, chopped all these sugar canes out, and we went ahead and put mulch on top of them so that way next year we able to get more sugar cane out of that spot. Now I do want to go ahead and apologize because I had supposed to come on in and give you all a video on these sugarcane, but it was one of those things. The frost was up on us, and we had to come on out here and rush and harvest these sugarcane. Stay tuned. I might want to go ahead and take you all along with us, making some sugarcane juice and making also some sugarcane syrup, guys. So stay tuned for that. Be the Lord's will. I want to take you all along with us. Now, look at here. We have a skyscraper, guys. If you all can see, look at that. How tall that motherland okra is. Oh my goodness. Uh, hey, to be exaggerating, I'll say it's probably right at about 2 story long. Okay. Um, and up until this time, guys, this plant was still producing. Okay, still producing, and you all can see where I stopped harvesting motherland okra at. Okay, I wouldn't say give up, but I just stop. Okay, I mean, come on, you need at least about a 12-foot ladder to get to the top to harvest those those motherland. I mean, after all, you can hold a branch and maybe pull it down closer, but you run the risk of uh, snapping those plants. But one thing I do know with these motherland okra here, they did produce a whole lot. Okay, they did produce a whole lot compared to the first year when I planted them. And what I did, I came on out here and chopped them back, and I went ahead and harvest out those seeds, guys. So just go ahead and stay tuned for those seeds, which I believe we do already have some up online. But if you need yourself some motherland okra seeds, you can go ahead and order yourself some. All the pumpkins and everything is pretty much finished with this frost. But go ahead and stay tuned. As a matter of fact, we're going to go ahead and walk and talk, guys. We're going to walk on over here to the middle garden. And let me get over this electric fence before I get zapped. And I made it over the first hurdle. Okay, but as y'all can see, the sheeps, they're out here. They're grazing. They're doing pretty good. They're looking good. And what those sheeps, look at that one. If you notice, he was just, let me get my shadow out of the way. And so that one, if you see her, what she is doing right now is pretty much eating on a pumpkin, guys. Okay, so those right there is the younger pumpkins that was out there in the field. And what I went ahead and did is I pretty much went ahead and gave them those pumpkin. And what that does, it helps them with their with their stomach. It's also said it's known to help with parasites and stuff like that. So yes, that is why we feed these sheeps the pumpkin. And not only that, hey, why let the pumpkins go to waste when you have the sheeps that can eat them, right? So that is the sheeps back there. They're just chilling right now and grazing where they can graze, and doing what they do. And that's Miss Lady over there as well. She is grazing away at a piece of pumpkin, guys. All right. And These sheeps right here, they are bred right now at the moment. I'll say we have right at about another month or so to go for them to drop their lamb. All right, so that hey, that is pretty much what's going on here on the homestead. Okay, and there we have two more. Just guess they're just chilling right now for the time being. And here is another hurdle that I have to make over, which is this electric fence. Now, if you hear me holler out, you know what happened. I got shock. I made it. Okay, and so right on over here is also where we've planted out our brassicas. All right, this is some more kale that we have planted, which should bounce back, guys. Over here is some bok choy. Now that bok choy, what might happen what might happen? It may go to a mush, guys. Okay, even though it's a brassica, um, usually when they get uh, frozen, they usually don't come back in a good shape. They usually get mushy and at times just just don't make it through the frost. Okay. Um, right over here is where we have some cabbage. Get myself out the way. We had some little cabbage we planted there. We also have some Jimmy Nardello peppers. I will be coming on out here. Um, so they're still frozen right now. And what I will do before they get thawed out, and that is going to be pretty soon, because the sun is shining on them. We'll come on out here and pick them, and just to pick them, put them in a bag, and put them in the freezer. That way, we have some Jimmy Nardella peppers to eat off of throughout the winter months. Okay, right over here is where we have our red Russian kale. And guys, as you all can see, they are crisp right now. They are um, frosty, put it that way. Okay, but they should bounce right back. Right over here is also where we have our cauliflower. Okay, which it should bounce back. They don't have any head on them just as yet, but it's one of those things where that, hey, with this cold months, that's why I try to plant them out early so I can get a harvest out of them and be able to, um, you know, just harvest them out before this cold get here, this frost get here rather. But it's one of those things that we have to live with it. Right here we had our goats got out the other day, and that's what happened. They came to the buffet and ate and got full and walk away. All right, and look at the sheep's coming up out of the bush, guys. All right, so what we're going to do now, we're going to go ahead and take you all on down to the rest of the homestead. Why not? Guys, I believe I just my camera went off, and so I have to get it queued back up. But as you all can see, they went back on over. I don't know if I actually catch the part when they came over, but they went back on over into the sun, just trying to warm up, because it's so cold out here. 32 degrees, guys, and hey, as y'all can see, that's very cold. Okay, so right over here is where we have a few little more goats here, and actually we are actually in kitten season. We have these goats that are kidding out, and we just had our Nanny 03, that's her name here on the homestead. Nanny 03 just gave birth to a boy yesterday in the evening, and I'm guessing the baby is in that IBC tote right there. Let's go ahead on in there and get a look at the baby. All right, see how that baby is doing, guys. And right here, what it is, I have one that just won't stop hollering. Because what happened, I separated her from her mother and her siblings. Now, this is one that was a triplet. Um, it was two girls and one boy. And so what happened, I went ahead and separate her. And the reason for that is, guys, I just don't want to run the accident of those little younger billies I have breeding her. So that is why I separate her on out. And we're going to come on around here and see if Mr. Where is he? Oh, I don't know. Where is he? Okay, there you go. Now, one of the thing is, these goats, they have a mind of their own. I pretty much brought this right here for that baby to go ahead and stay in, so to keep the north wind off of him and to keep him warm. But guess what? This is where he wants to be. This is where he wants to be, but I'm going to come on in and interrupt him right now and move him where I want him to be, because I believe it is a safer place for him. Now, guys, this is how I'm holding him. It's not going to hurt him at all. And we're going to put him on in there. Get on in there, young fella. Get on in there. Get in there. Get in there. Okay? And so that is little fella right there. Pretty little fella. All right. So, like I said, guys, it is kitten season. This time of year, I do love for kitten. Simple reason why I don't have to deal with a whole bunch of flies on these babies on these kids right here. Um, One of the thing is, though, you just have to make sure that mom, um, you know, clean this baby up really well, especially 32 degrees, because any kind of moisture or anything that is on the baby can cause that baby to catch pneumonia and possibly die. So it is good when they're having the babies and I'm around if it's cold like this, so I can go ahead, get a towel, help the baby to dry up real quick, and pretty much get them in an enclosed area, guys, where you get the breeze not blowing on them, because what can also happen at times, you can sometimes lose the ears on the baby if it is super super cold, like the 32s where things freeze. You want to go ahead and get something, get these baby dried up and get them out of that north wind, because that north wind coming in, it may be 32 degrees outside, but with that wind blowing, it may feel like it's 28 degrees outside. So just keep that in mind if you got goats and you're rearing goat, and hey, it's your first time, keep that in mind, guys. All right, so, and that is why I brought this IBC Topin, just to keep that baby um, out of the element. All right, and so everybody else over here is pretty much just trying to warm up. They are just trying to warm up, and we're going to leave them and let them do what they do best, and that is to stay warm. Okay, so right over here is just the little house we have for these goats. And right in here is where we have their minerals, guys. One of the thing is, you also have to remember, you have to keep the minerals on your goats. If they was in the wild, they would be able to find their minerals and all the things that they need. But simple reason why we have to give them minerals, because they can't go and get those things on their own. All right. And so that is mama right there. Her name is Nanny03, and now she's going to go check out her baby to see where she at. Okay, all right, let's go ahead and see what she got going on here. And she's just checking to make sure the baby or the kid is doing fine. All right. And so, all right, we're going to go ahead now, guys, and go ahead and tour up the rest of the garden, check on a couple more of the animals, and see how they are doing this morning. Okay. All right, swing you all on around. All right, and so what you're looking at right here is some hay that came out of the goat pen that will be going on top of these beds right here for them to be overwintered, guys. All right. Right here is the bottom garden where we have more brassicas planted out. And as you all can see, yes, they're laying down. I guess they done got frostbitten. They're pretty cold, but definitely we know these brassicas, they should bounce back. All right. Over here is where we have more cabbage, and as you all know, guys, and they did start to fold for us as well. I just pray. My prayer is that the frost don't beat them up too bad. Right here is where we actually have our cauliflower. Well, excuse me, our broccoli. Okay, we have our broccoli. Real nice head up underneath there. What I did, as y'all can see, I came on in and I covered some of these broccoli, um, you know, with the leaves, guys, just so that way I can keep the frost off of them. But that doesn't mean that they still didn't get a little bit frozen, which it did help keeping the frost off. um, but that is pretty much what that is. It is almost time to come on out and harvest some as well. I don't believe it is too cold or too bad frozen where that the frost will actually let these broccoli turn into a mush. Okay, because that can happen if it gets down too cold. All right, so I think we should be fine. We're going to leave them and let them keep on growing out and harvest what needs to be harvested and let what grow out need to get growed out. All right, so right here is where we have our sorghum, guys. We're going to have to come on down as well and cut these sorghums on out and juice them, so we can get the juice out of them as well. All right, and let's go ahead on around this way. So this just a quick little walk with you all in the morning. Right here is where we had our beans. As y'all can see, they did not survive the frost. If you all remember when we talked about callaloo as well, this right here is callaloo, guys. And as you all can see, someone asked me, would they be able to survive the cold? And your answer is no. Now, one of the things with callaloo, it is a very beautiful greens. It is more so a summer green, guys. It do really well in the heat, unlike your other brassicas that sometime will kind of with phase out on you in the heat. It gets too hot and their production will kind of slow down a little bit. They'll get a lot of diseases and they'll just won't look good. But callaloo is one of those things that if you have heat, they do really well, and that's what this is. But as y'all can see, they bite the dust because they do not like the cold. All right, we're going to go ahead on inside of this pen right here, just to check in on these goats and see how they are doing. And okay, well, before I do that, we're going to come on in right here, and we have some sweet potatoes that we have to come and get up out of the ground, guys, because the frost have kissed them. But that doesn't mean that the potato underneath is damaged. Okay, your foliage and stuff is bad, but the potatoes, we need to get them on out as soon as this ground thawed out. So that is going to be a plan for later on today for me to come on out and harvest these potatoes. All right, and stay tuned. We do have a video coming where we harvest out some of the potatoes already. All right, and we are in the bottom pasture here, or the bottom paddock, and who we have here is Mr. Abraham. Okay, he is on a rope, guys, and the reason for that is Abraham on his own, um, it's as if he cannot be contained, but as we all can see now, he is contained on a rope, and I hate to keep him on a rope, but I cannot have my friend tearing the homestead down. Okay, so therefore I had to go ahead and put him on a rope, guys. He is doing just fine. The rope is not hurting him at all. You know, back home in Jamaica, that is how we actually used to keep our goats. When we take them out to tie them out in the bushes, we would keep certain ones on rope, and the younger ones we would let them run free, as long as there is nobody that have a garden, you know, planted close by. Okay, because we don't want the goat to go and eat their stuff up. So but that's Abraham, being Abraham. All right, and right down here is where we have a few more billies. That is looking pretty good. All right, and so that, hey, that is pretty much it right there, guys, for that little morning walk down here on the homestead. You know, just getting up and see what it's like and what's going on. It's another year of us having to deal with the cold. Yes, another year. All right. So, guys, I just want to say peace and blessings to each and every one of you all out there. And you know, just go ahead, whatever you have to take on the inside, go ahead and take it on in. That can get damaged by the frost. You know, just want to come on in real quick and let y'all see what is going on. Okay, so anything that can get frostbite that you don't want to get frostbite, go ahead and put it on up. What I'm about to do right now, I'm about to go ahead and feed up these animals, get them ready to start, for them to start their day. And that is pretty much eat, drink water, and survive the rest of cold that we will be getting in throughout this season right here, guys. All right, so hey, like I said, and look at that. Look at who is coming to us. That beautiful, beautiful sun. Um, Come out here, and I'm gonna just stand in it just for a moment, guys, just to defrost myself. Okay, and that is why I love the sun so much, because what that sun also do, it brings happiness, guys. Um, you know, you think about this time of year, while it is more cold, it is gloomy and stuff like that. And if you find yourself down, just come on outside and stand up in the sun. Don't look directly at it, but just let that rays be able to catch your eyes just a little bit. And hey, get some vitamin D, and also perking yourself up, guys. That's what the sun do for me. That's why I love to be outside 95% of the time. Okay, but you know, nonetheless, that is pretty much it. I just want to say thanks to each and every one of you all out there for stopping by the Humble Servant Homestead. And as always, peace and blessings to each and every one of you all out there. Now, one thing, guys, remember, keep a smile on your face. You be happy, you be cheerful, and you be blessed. And till next time, we will see each other again. You all have a blessed day.